Stuffed ballots, covered-up cameras, evidence of fraud in Russia's elections as President Putin's party heads for a majority in parliament. A major volcanic eruption on La Palma in Spain's Canary Islands for the first time in 50 years as it forces villagers from their homes.
The noise coming from the volcano, it sounds like, I don't know, 20 fighter jets taking off right now, and it's extremely loud.
Canadians prepare to vote in Monday's parliamentary elections, with polls pointing to a very tight finish. Also, they're rolling out the red carpet in LA as TV's biggest stars arrive for the Emmy Awards.
France has cancelled a meeting between the country's armed forces minister and her British counterpart planned for later this week. It comes days after Australia scrapped a submarine order with Paris in favour of a new defence pact with Washington and London. France responded by withdrawing its ambassadors from both Washington and Canberra. In Afghanistan, the interim Taliban Mayor of Kabul has told female city employees in the capital to stay at home unless they're in jobs where they can't easily be replaced by men. Abdullah Namani said it was necessary to stop women from working for a while. The UK Prime Minister and the UN Secretary-General will jointly host a meeting of world leaders on climate change in New York on Monday. Britain's Boris Johnson will use the meeting to warn that more must be donated by rich economies to support developing countries' transition to net zero. He'll call on leaders to meet the pledge made in the Paris Agreement to mobilise $100 billion a year from 2020.
The funeral of the former Algerian president Abdelaziz Bouteflika has taken place in Algiers without the fanfare accorded to previous leaders. His body was taken for burial at El Alia Cemetery, where his predecessors and other independence fighters are also interred. Mr. Bouteflika died on Friday at the age of 84. He ruled Algeria for 2 decades, but was forced from power just 2 years ago by mass protests. In the US, teams searching for the missing 22-year-old Gabby Petito have found a body they say matches her description. It was in a national park in the state of Wyoming. Ms. Petito hasn't been seen since her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, returned home from a cross-country trip without her. Well, he's wanted by police who've named him as a person of interest. Officers involved in the discovery said that they were awaiting the results now of forensic testing.
Earlier today, human remains were discovered, consistent with the description of Gabby Petito. Full forensic identification has not been completed to confirm 100% that we found Gabby, but her family has been notified of this discovery. The cause of death has not been determined at this time.